Welcome back to Bored to Death, the podcast that is welcoming everybody into 2023, with this week being the first week of the new year. Welcome back. The task of the podcast this year is just to keep it as consistent and I guess as relevant as it was in 2022. And to kick off this year, we've got an episode that's been requested from the very start of the podcast. We've got some of the team from Kingston DIY here today. We've got Rowan, Tam and Stu. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah,
good,
yeah, great.
This feels a little bit surreal. I listened to like all the podcasts all in a row one day.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was. I knew I'd listened to a couple, and then I was doing a long drive to Oxford and back, and I listened to them all back to back. So I actually feel like a little bit of a super fan right now.
Oh, cool. That is really cool. And Tam, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good
nice
to be back
on an episode with you.
Totally. Last time it was good to see you.
Wasn't it? We already got a wee bit of your kind of story and how you get into skating and everything last time, so I'll move over to Stu.
Yeah.
How did you get into skateboarding? And the OG question: do you remember getting your first skateboard?
Yeah, I do. So I was like, I feel like it was classic older kids in the street. You know, I grew up just outside London in like the suburbs, and the older cool kids were listening to like cool music, playing Crazy Taxi and skateboarding. And I managed to get like a shitey, it was a blank Argos board, which now looking back I'm kind of like pretty stoked on, because everyone had such minging graphics back then. Like the original Argos boards were so stanky, so yeah, kind of grateful. And that was about 8, and I just skated a bit, then moved to Scotland, and tried to get people skating, and then found other people that started skating at the same time, and then I got a fracture board, which I class as my first board. And the difference, holy shit. That was like the greatest day of my life. Like a 775 fracture complete, holy shit. The thing was like a spaceship compared to the Argos board. But that's kind of got into skating, then met Rowan through skating, and we joined a skate committee to petition to get a skate park in our hometown.
How long ago was this?
This was like
a long time.
Yeah, a long time ago. We were like 13.
Oh wow.
Maybe. Is that right?
Yeah.
13, 14?
Yeah.
To like be honest, I feel like we joined when it was already about to happen. Like
it would been like 10 years in the making. We joined, and there was like another 10 years until it got built.
True,
it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's how we met. And the skate park got built. Just spent most summers down there, and that was kind of the start, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And what about you, Rowan?
I think my brothers skated. So there used to be like a co-op car park that everyone would skate in. It was essentially just like slappy curbs and maybe like a wee mani pad thing. And cool story that's kind of like come full circle is that my what's Al to me?
He's your father-in-law.
That's it. My father-in-law.
I thought this was going to be like 9th cousin or something.
I'm not used to saying father-in-law yet, so that isn't in the brain.
Freshly married. Freshly
married. And he had the digger that was knocking down the co-op when it got destroyed, and all of the like bollards and everything that came from that has been in his field for years, and I found them recently, and we're going to put some of them into Kingston, so hopefully there'll be like a bank to over a bollard or something soon.
Oh,
so that will come full circle from where we started skating.
Yeah, that's sick.
Well, I think a lot of people are interested in it. Do you guys want to tell the story of how Kingston came to be? I think there's a lot of people who've like had questions about it, or have just wondered about it, like from the start. Like, how did it come to be as it is today?
I feel like you were you began.
So Stuart was skating in a really gross little car. No, it's not a car park. It's like a wee little place that kids play football. And
it's so bad. It's just when I came back like maybe 4 years ago or something like that. I just was going out myself. I didn't really know anyone, and I took Rowan to this like. It's so bad. It's like a ledge, a launch ramp, and there's like a fun box. And everything's a foot high.
Yeah, it's like near the Tenants Brewery, like kind of that part of town.
People's Palace.
Okay.
It's near the People's Palace.
Right, I know that.
It's horrific. Glass everywhere. So scary.
So then we were watching like videos of kind of like DIY parks, and the idea that we could possibly do that at this weird little suburb bit. But then just we didn't get the right vibe from it. We didn't want to do it there. And then we started looking underneath anything on like Google Maps that looked like it was a bridge or something that stuck out. So we had like a bunch of ideas of places we could go. And then Stuart went down to Kingston one night. Because I think as well, when we had been talking to people who like maybe a year down the line, it's been skated, that spot, for years. It's not like we kind of went down there and called it Kingston. It was like a mani pad already down there, like a wooden one. So yeah, we went down there and built like the kicker first, or the ledge?
Ledge that's under the ledge that's there.
And that was essentially just because it was winter, it was raining a lot. I was learning for the first time since I was like a kid, and you were kind of like just wanting to skate a ledge. And yeah, we just kind of built it for ourselves essentially, which is why it was really shit. Fell apart pretty quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of when the excitement of it all happened, and like Tam kind of came down and wanted to just get stuck in and help out, and like a lot of our friends were kind of learning to skate at the same time, so they were jumping in and helping. And
was this all like pre-COVID?
This was during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID.
So this was that was the same again. Like the indoors were closed, and like none of us or have ever really been big into transition, or like definitely when we were kids, because when our skate park we did petition for got built, the fucking quarter was absolutely massive. So big, like
into a stair set.
Into a stair set. It was unreal. It was meant to be a step up, and they missed out the step up, so the whole flow was fucked. There was like a 4 set, and each stair was like a meter long, kind of like the one on KG, you know, the one that goes around the corner.
Yeah.
It was like that with no run up, and it's like,
is that Unity? No,
this is
Castle Douglas.
Yeah.
So we were kind of more into like skating street and stuff, and that's why, hence the ledge. And the idea was that we just have this ledge to skate, and then got some attention. So we're like, fuck, we should make an Instagram before someone else does.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'd spoken to Charlie as well from Arches, and he said his Instagram for the Arches was the best thing he ever did.
Right.
For it, just because that meant that people would donate and then they would get money to build stuff. So we thought, fuck it, why not? And we did it, and obviously worked out for us as well. So it's good.
Yeah, was that during COVID as well? I think that's when I started seeing the page.
Yeah.
During like OG or second lockdown. I can't remember what it was.
I'm trying to think what was built by the time we made the Instagram as well.
I think the ledge and the kicker.
I came in right after the bank had been made, so I moved to Glasgow in November.
Yeah.
And you had already you were making the mani pad because you just built the bank.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was at the height of lockdown. I was like,
yeah.
So did you guys know? I'm
No.
saying you guys know Tam when you moved down.
We met through a mutual friend. So I was in Dumfries and Galloway beforehand, and I was working as a film intern at this place called Catstrand in New Galloway, and a guy called Rory was working there filming a woman playing piano, and I got speaking to Rory, and he said he was moving through to Glasgow, and I was like, no way, I'm moving through to Glasgow as well in like a couple of weeks. And he was like, okay. We exchanged details, and then we hooked up when I got through, and he was like, you should come down to this spot underneath the bridge to skate, but keep it quiet, no one really knows about it yet. And I was like, okay, sick. I felt kind of like, what is this? Like, I got there and Stu was there, and I think Rowan, you were away for a wee bit. I didn't meet you until like quite a few builds in, to be honest. And just that was the mani pad. That's where I met like a bunch of other people, like a lot of the Southside crew and stuff. And
I remember Stuart telling me about this elusive Tam character. And he's like, he's coming down, he's helping on all the ramps, and he's only been here one day, and he's already on the Instagram. Who is this guy?
It was sick though. It was like the driving force we definitely needed. I think for any kind of DIY to be successful, it just needs like people and energy, and like you can't take that on. Like especially at the start, we're putting in our own cash, and like Tam was like straight off the bat was like that mani pad was crazy. Like, here's some money. Like, just I think you put in like 70 quid or something ridiculous.
Yeah, we built
like,
the quarter with whatever.
with that. Yeah,
It was because I had come from Forres, and we'd been trying to get. We had a skate park in the 90s and early 90s, and that got taken down, and that was like one of the best skate parks ever. And we were always fighting for a skate park and like going to the council and trying to organise things. And there's still ongoing petitions and stuff for this. It's like a constant battle. So to come to Glasgow and be like, oh, why don't you just make it yourself or like help build one, and just seemed so much more streamlined and faster, and yeah, way better way to do it.
It feels like it's been there longer than it has. Like, I feel like Kingston literally, I mean, I'm sure someone could fact check it, but this has been mentioned on every single episode of this podcast as far, with multiple people like saying it's their favourite place in Glasgow. So it's crazy to like know that. I mean, I know you guys are saying like geographically it existed 3 years ago, but it wasn't, you know, what it is today.
Yeah,
in such a short space of time.
yeah, it's been fast, but same time, like when you're there for every build, it doesn't feel fast. It feels
It feels slow.
Yeah.
Some of the guys have wrote in some questions, so
Nice.
it's a free for all for everyone.
Nice.
So this one is from Beth. It's also a joint question with Rachel, Broken Teeths.
Nice.
Beth asks, will you guys be doing more events this year? This is the best place ever. And Rachel follows up with, will there be any events at Kingston once the good weather comes back?
Yeah, I feel like, to be fair, we aren't even the ones that need to push the events. The events tend to come from other parts of the community, and people
last year it did. Yeah.
Last year was pretty crazy. I think so, for sure. It's the best, especially for like seeing like the young fucking shredders just absolutely sending it, and then like seeing people that we've watched skating since we've grown up, you know, that we're always like, oh, they're fucking sick, imagine being that good. And those people like coming down and skating, and coming from the countryside as well. We didn't really have local shops, so like even having like companies like Route 1, to us that was like crazy. Like when we were younger, it's like all we wanted to do was get to Edinburgh and go to that Route 1 store. It's the only skate shop that we knew about, because we're basic, and also like from the countryside there wasn't much of a scene. So,
no, that's really nice.
so it's really cool seeing that sort of stuff, and we're literally more than happy for anyone to come down and host events. We just care about them tidying up, I think. That's kind of it.
What would be your dream event if you guys could hold an event there? What would be involved in
Like
it?
a dime,
Time Glory Challenge at Kingston. That would be amazing.
That's a good shout.
yeah.
This one is from Ali Campbell up at the Forgotten Road.
Oh, nice.
He says, what do you guys plan on building next down there?
Well,
Or is it if it's confidential?
No, it's not
that's
confidential.
fine.
It's not
It's just we haven't actually like sat down and chatted as
Yeah.
like a group about Kingston in a while, so it's kind of all up in the air. This could be the deciding.
should we mention the
Conversation.
funding?
Yeah, I guess everything that we build needs to cost, and we do it as cheaply as we can. And yeah, so at the moment we've got enough to do maybe like one more build, kind of like a bank or a quarter pipe or something. So yeah, any funding that could come our way is always appreciated and always goes right into building the ramps and nothing else. Maybe the odd falafel wrap, but
but I think like there's quite a few ideas cutting about. We definitely want to keep the flow going. One thing that's been on our minds is everyone's asked for a mini since we started. So I think like we've kind of chatted briefly about this. We're probably going to start like set up a funding solely for a mini, maybe. See if people are into it, because so many people have been to us like, look, I'll pay for another quarter pipe to be put in front of that quarter pipe, and you know, how much will it cost? I'm like, well, we're not going to put a quarter pipe in front of that quarter pipe because that will cut off the entire flow of the park. But we'll build a mini. And he's like, okay, I'll pay for it. And I was like, yeah,
Cool.
it's going to be like £900, you know, like £700 if we're talking cheap. Like we're not going to build a shit mini. We're probably going to maybe model it after the Unit 23 one. It's fucking, in my opinion, has got like the kind of higher side and then the lower side, and it feels to me like a mini. And obviously something we've tried to do from Kingston from the start is make it fully accessible, even though the ground is hard to skate, we hope that like a lot of the obstacles are like achievable. You know, they're not like totally crazy, and I think being able to meet that middle ground with the mini that's not too big, but also has the ability to like improve and learn on, with like maybe 2 sections to it. So it's the sort of thing that, although people have been asking for so long, it's such a big project.
And you don't want to do it shittily.
Yeah, and you need to
We've
find
been
the
learning
space.
slowly how to like finish the concrete, how to make it not crack. I'm still learning that one.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like there's so many different building techniques in concrete and how to do it well, that if we were to do a mini like day one, it would just be a pile of rubble by now.
Yeah,
Totally.
definitely.
Saying that, the kicker's still going.
The
Absolutely.
kicker is going strong, man. Yeah, that thing still gets sessioned.
What was it like working with Red Bull in the summer with their clip? There was some scenes down at Kingston and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that was Danny for the most part on our end. I think he
Yeah.
got in contact with us about that. And he said that, so when he first told us, we're just like, no way is that actually going to happen. Like Jamie Foy is not going to come and skate our wee
Yeah, you thought it
DIY.
was
That's
like
not like, you know, that's really nice that you're excited about this, but come on, that's not going to happen. And it just like, the story didn't change. It was just like, yeah, no, he's coming over. And like, you know, a couple of months would go past and we're like, yeah, is he Danny Foy, Jamie Foy really coming? And then, yeah, the whole team kind of came over and interviewed us, filmed a bunch of stuff. We kind of like, you were out skating with them.
Well, it was like the day they were supposed to come a day after they turned up. So it was just, I think everyone was a little bit rough and hungover from a stag do.
Oh, right.
I was like in bed and I just got a message from Cash being like, oh, the Red Bull guys are coming, Jamie Foy and all that are coming to skate Kingston, we'll be there in an hour. And I was like, scrambled for my clothes, got my board together, like made a face, went down, and yeah, they were actually really, really down to earth. It was good.
Yeah.
Rocked up in these massive black vans, like 2 big black vans, one with like crew and equipment and stuff, and one with the athletes.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa. It's like, yeah, it's kind of surreal to see that.
So they were meant to be there a day early, and we held our own stag do at Kingston the day before, thinking this is going to be sick, because we were going to be like, we had like a gazebo, we had tunes on, and we had like there was like a keg and stuff, and we were like gonna just party there, and then hopefully the pros were gonna come down and skate, and it was just all gonna marry up so nicely. But they got postponed a day, so it was just like it was the absolute opposite. It was so cold, and I remember being like, "Fuck!" Like, no way, we need to leave the house right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it worked out great. It was a good way to spend the day.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
I think the best thing that I enjoyed about that was just seeing all of the Scottish skaters absolutely go for it. And like, there was some crazy stuff that Jake and Jamie put down, but like the Glasgow skaters were just going for it, and that was so more enjoyable for me as a person being there to watch.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Margie was like shredding the hardest.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's true.
Yeah.
This one's from, excuse me if I get your name wrong, Graki Zaki. If you had an unlimited amount of concrete for free, what would you buy?
Mega ramp.
What would you build?
Danny Way's mega ramp.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, we'd start by putting a big, flat, smooth slab of concrete on
Another
the floor.
slab.
Another.
Whoa.
No, just the whole side, so the whole place is
if you have enough
smooth.
concrete, probably fix the bridge, right? Stop the leaks to the bridge.
Stop
the bits falling off the bridge and stop the leaks. 101. Number 2, fucking floor that thing. Like, floor the whole thing, because we've got unlimited amounts. Fix the drainage, like, do you know what I mean? That, and then you can talk about like the ramps, because like, yeah, the one thing it is missing is just like that smooth bit that you can just have a nice game of skate on. And then I think for us, hopefully the end goal is to build over the whole place, but we also want it to be like, be able to flow, like, is really important, and you can hit everything. And yeah, also I think our goals in general are just building stuff that isn't already in Glasgow, or you don't usually see.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
hence why there's loads of like bank curb things that I've always wanted to skate.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Does a lot of shit come down off the motorway?
Bits and bobs. Like there
Like
was
water,
lots of water when we
Yeah.
didn't see it that much anymore. But when we were first starting out, there would be huge like like gallons and gallons of water coming over the motorway. You'd get completely
Dirt.
like soaked and splashed by this dirty like road water
Dirty,
every 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Rubbish
Yeah,
flies in
rubbish
there and just
flies
gets
down
caught.
big time. Always keeping on top of that. It's just pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think a bit of the bridge fell recently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keeping
like,
an eye on that one.
Pretty huge chunk fell off.
Yeah.
That would, if it hit you, it'd kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So just watch out.
Watch out
Disclaimer.
for that.
They have,
Disclaimer: watch for debris.
They've marked you can see they've marked in chalk on the bridge where the repairs need to happen.
Ah,
Which is kind of funny. But it's funny that they're like, make sure you don't build in the pillars because that'll, cause structural damage. And I'm like, mate, you need to fucking look at the actual bridge
The whole
first.
thing is
Yeah,
structural
don't worry
damage.
about our tiny little ramps. It's like actual lorries driving on that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Tam, this one's actually for you from Kerr, the Art of the Valley Boy himself. Just
Okay.
when are we getting another photo together?
Oh man, I was thinking about this the other day. Kerr, if you're listening, which I know you are, I miss you and I love you. But I have been thinking about that recently because my leg's been scuppered. I haven't really been able to do anything, in fact. But it's on the up and up, and the first thing I want to do when I get back into it is go and get a photo with you, Kerr. I'd love that.
And
Shout out, man. Yeah.
Big
well,
shout,
for
Kerr.
everyone from Kerr, when's the pole jam getting built?
Wow, our pole jams got stolen,
Yeah.
right?
We had the perfect
Did it?
pole jams. Yeah.
Shit, I didn't
Remember-
notice that.
Old Miller brought down those triangle. Basically, I had this plan, or we had this idea that we were going to just build like a classic bank just to see like big flip tricks go down like over it or whatever, and then at one side of it have like a double rail that was like kind of pointed out like a pole jam, so you hit it from both sides. But our metal gets stolen all the time. It's really rough.
We
Yeah.
had like a wee lockup down there, but like a lot of people started sleeping down there. It was like summer time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like the really shit job we did of locking it up got broken
Yeah.
and people stole everything.
We had a massive like full corner piece, like
Oh my
rail
god,
for like a
Yeah.
bull corner.
keeps
and-
me up at night.
Yeah, we had
So
so
sad.
much stuff. Like,
Nah, that is
Yeah.
rough.
And it came from there's like a skate park in Edinburgh. It's called like the Warehouse or something. I don't know. I'm butchering that probably.
Zone 74. Was
No.
It wasn't that, but it was an old skate park that
it's called the Big something, was it not?
I don't know.
Big Red Shed. I don't know. Yeah, fuck.
But they essentially gave us all the rails off of their old
Yeah,
half or bowl,
Yeah.
and well, they gave us 2 rails out of it, and yeah, they both got nicked, which sucks.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Fuckers.
yeah,
Yeah.
bastards.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that like it was the perfect rail, but like we're just not good enough to build a bowl yet, so it's kind of like we're not going to go ahead and do that.
So we're saving it.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
saving
yeah,
it, but it's like how long can you save it for until someone's going to nick it? Right?
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
What would you guys need to take Kingston to the next level if you could have anything? Does it really just, I mean, it's like the podcast as well, does it really just come down to money?
Yeah, I guess. Like, it helps a lot. I mean, I hate to say that, but
No,
it does.
I'm the
It
same.
does help.
I don't like to talk about it like that, but as a reality sometimes, it's just, things can't move on without it.
And yeah, definitely.
It's tough. I think like money is just the biggest thing, and it is so expensive, and every build costs slightly more than you think it's gonna. We're lucky because we're pretty chill in the space at the moment, but like as you say, like to take it to the next level would also be like maybe some like insurance that we knew it wasn't gonna take away. Like we're gonna build no matter what. That doesn't really stop us, but like, you know, I feel like we can maybe apply for bigger funding because we've already applied for grants and stuff that we've had small grants come through. And if it was more legit, I think we could probably get either annual funding or something a bit bigger than what we've had so far. I think the fact that deters charities that support projects like this, you know, it's kind of scary when you're like, by the way, we don't actually have any right to be here, we don't have like the qualifications or like the insurance to be building or moving this rubble or for people to be skating here. So I think if we had that sort of like backing by, I don't know who needs, if it's the council or the transport people, then I really think we could, because we're happy to apply for funding, I really think we could get some big funding and like literally pay people as well, like pay people to work there. We'd love to do that and get skaters that are skint to come in and be like, look, if you work for a day, we can pay you a wage, and that shit would be
amazing.
magic, man.
What about in 5 years' time? Where do you see Kingston in 5 years' time?
Wow.
I mean, look where it came in, like, what, 2 years? 2.5 years?
Yeah.
2 years.
So
when
just
is
more
the
than double
second
that.
birthday?
It just passed.
Yeah, we just
Did it? We missed
yeah,
it.
Just passed on the
Wow.
12th or 13th. Yeah.
We'll do something
We made
big
such
for the
a big-
third. Big
yeah.
three, you know.
Yeah.
Big three. We'll build a big three.
Big three. Big three. And we'll just add a step every year.
Yeah, I love it.
dunno.
5 years time. I'd hope there was going to be a lot more things that we built there. I hope it's not just the same as it is right now.
Yeah, man.
Nah, definitely not.
Yeah, I think we'll build more. I
Yeah.
think, like,
Well, I guess there's some like big goals of ours. Like one of the things that we've always wanted to do since everyone started going down there and graffitiing and spraying down there is turn it into a legal spray space. So people kind of like SWG3, the yard. So yeah, that's one thing that we thought would be really cool.
yeah, it would be sick.
But yeah, I don't know where you start with that. So
I think we all just want it to keep going, and I think at some point there's going to need to be more people come involved and stuff like that. Like, we're obviously not ready for that yet, but like at some point I hope to like pass it on as well. Like, not necessarily give it, like, I think I'd always want one of us to be involved in the design, planning, positioning,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
But if people have ideas and they want stuff built, we constantly looking for that ideas and like to take them on and maybe workshop them and put them in place. And I think like it does take like someone to be up for raising funds for us. You know, if there's someone that really wants to do that, then we could put so much more effort into that. So I think like in 5 years, if we had a slightly bigger team with more dedicated tasks, and like it's totally achievable to create at least like jobs out of it for us, and like we'd love to do that, and you know, be there all the time and cleaning it up, like keeping it clean, like yeah, be sick.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we've kind of already touched on this one. Have you guys seen a change in the community or the number of people visiting since COVID ended?
Yeah, I mean, for a while there was like Duke was doing lessons down there.
Yeah.
So it was thriving for a while. There was maybe about like quite a few families down there at any given moment. He was teaching like loads of kids at once. So that was quite nice to walk past and just see that there was just like families chilling there and stuff, and fully supportive as well, you know. And not put off at all by the fact it's like under a bridge in like Tradeston. And
Well, I'm
like,
sure they're put off a little bit, but
well, maybe, but they seemed really sound. They'd come up and speak and be like, yeah, we really like what you're doing. And then you'd see all the Southside crew and all the, people from all around really. But then also we've had people from Kinning Park Complex come over and want to build. They built the planters and got behind that and stuff. And that was nice, you know. There's been like everyone from the community has kind of gone involved over the time.
It's definitely since COVID has quietened down a little bit, but like there was a time where we literally sometimes we wouldn't go because it was so hectic. Like you turn up and it'd be like, especially in the main section with the ledge and the mani pad, and when that was all there was, you'd come down, there'd be like literally like 15 people either side skating at each other. You turn and be like, fuck this, man.
The first half a year was just like every day consistently packed full of skaters.
It was like, don't get me wrong, I'm buzzing for it. Like, it's not my like vibe to skate in that size of crowd. Like,
nah.
Yeah, fuck that. Like,
good to go watch.
It's
though.
amazing to watch. So it's quieting down, which is kind of nice. And we're quite like early risers, some of us as well. So you know, the crisp mornings when it's like the snow's falling but the park's dry. Holy shit!
Beautiful.
I think like a lot of people would have seen it on Instagram like during the lockdowns and been like, when this, you know, that thing everyone was saying like, when this is over or when this finishes, like I want to get down there. And as soon as like, I mean, I know COVID's not totally over yet, but as the world, or more so Scotland, has opened up more, like people are like, oh, like I'm going down there. Like I'm actually going down there.
Well, I guess
people coming from all over.
Yeah, seeing the Red Bull pro skaters come down, like that wouldn't have happened during COVID. And even like, I remember when I think it was the first birthday, was that maybe when the lockdown started to end a bit.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was
Yeah,
coming
there
up. There was still slight
Yeah.
worries about having the thing.
Because I remember there was like a bunch of people that you knew that came down from Aberdeen, and
Yeah,
there was like a
in a
parcel
limousine,
and a
actually.
limousine, yeah.
So a limousine
So-
rocked up, and we were like, whoa, who's that? And the door opens up, and it's like Campbell and Grundy and Woody and stuff. And I was just kind of like, what the fuck are you guys doing
Yeah.
in a limo?
It,
Drove all the way.
That was wild. I kind of
Yeah.
forgot how good that was.
It was so
The birthday
funny, man.
was so wild.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. That was like, I remember that was the first time, or the first thing that we'd done down there where we weren't scared we were all going to get fined. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like we knew we were potentially disturbing the peace with, like, the tunes were absolutely rocking. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
they were good.
But yeah, the police they did come down, and they were literally like, oh, we're just checking in.
Yeah,
He
they,
turned the
That's
bass down a
good.
little bit.
That's good.
They went
yeah.
away and they said, we told them, like, don't worry, the curfew's at like 11, we're going to have everything packed up. And they're like, no, that's cool, we're fully supportive of what you got going down here. You obviously put in a lot of effort to this. They were looking at the
Yeah.
gazebos and stuff. They went away, they came back at 11, we were already packing the stuff up, and they were
Oh, that
super
was good.
sound.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
I saw the police coming and I was like, oh, this is going to get shut
I
down. You know?
know.
We had
But
so
then
much,
that
like,
feel like stomach drop you get
Yeah, I
when
was
the
like,
police show up to anything.
8 o'clock end.
Yeah,
but it was
we've had
cool.
quite a lot of like bad run-ins with them from the start, and that was the first time like they'd been sound, and like, yeah, it was really rough to start with, super rough, like cutting off builds. I remember me and Rowan we got our names taken because we were two people out of the house. You know, remember when the rules were you could meet up with a friend
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you could exercise with one other person within the radius of your local area? And we went down and the police came up to us and they're like, what are you doing down here? And we're like, oh, we're just, you know, meeting a friend for an hour to skate and exercise. And they're like, do you really think skating's exercise? And I was like, mate, it's in the fucking Olympics. And we got our names taken, and basically they're like, look, if you don't, they're undercover as well. They're like, if you don't go, the next cops that'll come, you'll get fined and all this shit. And yeah, fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah, it was such a mess that
I feel
time.
like we
Just
got-
the rules and everything. That was just such a weird time.
Yeah.
We got sent a lot of stories like that as well.
Yeah, loads
Yeah.
of people experienced that, especially at Kingston, I think.
Yeah, no, a few people have mentioned it on here.
Mhm.
Tiny actually mentioned it about Kelvin Grove.
Yeah.
Like, I think they said the similar
Yeah.
thing. This is a good one actually. Like this one, how do you guys balance the work you do with Kingston with your day jobs, partners, friends, family, and just other life commitments?
We actually all have the same job at the moment for the first
Yeah, we're
time.
all-
This
we're-
never really happened before. We all work
we're
for
all
the same
removals.
company.
That's
Yeah. Big shout out Peachy Removals.
Yeah, shout out Peachy Removals.
Yeah, look them up.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. Oh man, had so much time over lockdown. That's why it was easy.
Yeah.
So much time.
And I think we went at like little blocks as well. It wasn't
Yeah.
like we're consistently like every 2 weeks we build something. It was kind of like we build 2 things in a week and then not do anything for like a month and a half and
Yeah.
then 2 builds. And
Yeah.
so you have like an intense period of like make it,
Yeah.
try and figure it out, and then just enjoy it and skate it for a bit and then figure out what's coming next.
Yeah. I think you like also first of all that like for longevity, that's the only way we've seen that we can keep builds going is if it's not too like it's intense for like a week and then it's chill. And I think it also allows you to skate the obstacle and understand what should come next.
Sure.
You know, like because you never really know how it's going to skate. Like you can obviously make assumptions, and then once you skate it for a while, you're like, right, okay, that's really annoying that there's no flow there, or like you skate straight into that pillar. That's really stressful. So it's like a great way to like help develop it in a smart sense instead of just being like, let's put something here and something there. And I feel like that's what we struggle to tell people a lot as well. That's like, oh, why don't you just put something in there? And it's like there's actually it's quite complicated in the way that we have to make sure that the Transport Scotland can get a van through the whole entire park. So so like we can't have anything that's like that blocks the gaps between the pillars.
Yeah. Even with the slab, you had to leave enough space.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
And we're
be
kind
able
of
to
pushing
get
it with
up
the
on
spine.
slab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where the spine and the bank are is the right amount of space that a lorry can drive up there. Or like the reason the spine doesn't go from pillar to pillar is because they need to get in and out. And so it is like takes a lot of thought, and because the ground's bad in quite a lot of the places, it's like there's so much battling against where an obstacle can go. and trying to be smart and be like, right, the ground's good there and good here. We just need the obstacle to stretch that distance.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's short, then it's fucked. And if it's like covering the entrances, so it can't be too long. So
And the wet patches as
And the
well.
wet
You gotta
patches.
keep an eye out for where
Jesus.
there's no roof, and there's just like a massive puddle, which was though we've managed to get the puddle gone, like the big Hurna massive puddle that was at
Loch
the start.
Kingston,
Yeah, Loch Kingston.
Loch Kingston.
Yeah,
that
we
is
managed to get that going. That was horrible. That's where we got all of our water from, though, so it did serve some purpose, but
Yeah.
it is
We cleared the
it's pretty
drains.
much gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to round the questions off, do you guys feel proud of what you guys have accomplished in such a short space of time?
Wow. Sure. Yeah.
A lot of people
think-
are too, what's the word? Humble to like
Yeah.
say. Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
obviously you guys
I think on
definitely should
days
be.
like the birthday or when
Yeah.
whenever there's an event held or there's for some reason everyone's down there,
yeah.
that's when you're like sitting back and you're just like, this is actually fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I think on the day
Yeah.
to day, I'm not like, yeah, I'm proud.
Yeah, it's good, and like I'm buzzing about it, and it's wild because we've been in every inch of that space. Like it feels, maybe doesn't feel as impressive to us when we walk down and look at it as compared to other people that are like, look at the size of this space. And I think it's also doesn't transferable to someone that doesn't really skate, because you're like, check this out, we built this. Like took our parents down, and it was just like dad was like checking out the back of the ramp. He's like, fucking Jesus. Are you sure you want to be like showing this off? Like, so but yeah, grateful.
Do you guys have anything you want to plug, like outside of Kingston? Any projects going on?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like there's things that have happened in the past. Like Stuart and I put out an album. I don't know when it was, like July or something.
yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have to plug that. That's what I was wanting.
Yeah, okay. But it feels like so long ago that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not really
Nah,
new
streams are
news.
streams.
But yeah,
Streams are stream.
Van Ives, the album's called Thanks. Go check it out. It's good.
Yeah, no, we'll put the link in the description for
Yeah.
you guys.
Peachy removals.
Peachy removals.
Peachy
yeah.
removals.
If you need to move house,
Yeah.
get
You
us
need
to
to
move your
move.
house.
They have an Instagram.
And as always, we have a song of the day here.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't think about this.
I know, to be honest, I have totally forgotten about this
Earth,
one
Wind
as
and
well.
Fire got to get you out of my head.
Since we just ended 2022, is there maybe any songs that you like just really got into?
What did I say last time? Was it Descent by Bong Ripper? It's a good song, man. I think I said that last time, but this time I'm going to say GNT by Pigs.
So pigs times
7.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're playing in the Liquid Rooms, so everyone should get a ticket.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that song has been playing throughout this year, especially through festival season. It seemed to come up a lot, and I saw them for the first time during festival season, and it was Savage. So yeah, that's my song of the year for now.
Wow. That's such a hard question. I've got so many songs I want to...
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been really loving Nick Hackam's new song, Happen. So
Okay, cool.
there you go. It's got like some cool Deftones vocal production on it.
Oh, I'll definitely listen to that then.
I'm gonna say Little Sims and Woman. That's just I was so late to the party, but it comes on my playlist all the time, and it's such a vibe.
Fair. I'm gonna go for Not the Same by Body Jar.
Ah,
It
the
keeps
Tony
coming
Hawk's
on
Pro Skater 3 tune.
Yeah, it came on shuffle a few times recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, just the standard nostalgia. Like
That's my
of
favourite
any song
song.
that's in any of those games. But when it comes
Yes.
on, I'm just like, simpler times, really simpler times. But thank you guys all for coming on. It's
Thanks
been
for having
too
us.
fast, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
These are
flew
all
by.
Yeah.
welcome back anytime at all.
Yeah,
you very
please
much.
just let us know. And like, honestly, shouts to yourself, because I feel like the amount of people that just put in their time and stuff, like in the skate scene in Glasgow, is just unreal.
Yeah.
And like from experience, like it can be taxing and tough, especially sometimes you feel like yeah, maybe what are you doing all this work for? Or,
Yeah.
but yeah, they like. I just want you to know that I definitely appreciate what you do. And I
Oh
think
no,
it's- I think it's
you
fantastic, man.
guys are the bosses at the moment in Glasgow. But thanks everyone for listening. This is just the first episode of this year, so yeah, just keep streaming, keep skating.
Yeah.
Yow!